runner Jasmine Jones trying to stay on terms with Femke Bol, but in the final hurdle, Femke Bol opens up a massive gap on the American. It's Femke Bol, but versus the clock, another gold.
Femke Bol stepped onto an indoor track in France and did something she was never supposed to try. One race, 2 laps, and suddenly, the limits around her career didn't look so solid anymore. This wasn't a stunt, and it wasn't an experiment that went wrong. It worked. So why did this single 800-meter race change how the entire sport looks at her? Femke Bol, the dominant force of the 400-meter hurdles, stepped onto the track for her first ever competitive 800-meter race. The setting was the Metz indoor meeting, a meet respected for its fast track and serious competition, but not normally associated with defining moments in athletic careers. What followed was not a novelty appearance. It was a statement. Bol won the race with control. She did not look uncomfortable. She did not fade late. She did not race like an athlete experimenting with unfamiliar territory. She raced like someone who understood the distance. Her time was immediately labeled world class. While the exact number mattered less than the performance itself, the implications were obvious. She had run in territory usually reserved for specialists. And that single race opened a door that very few athletes are ever able to push open. To understand why this moment matters, you have to understand what the 800 meters represents. It is the most punishing event on the track. Too long to rely on speed. Too short to rely on endurance alone. It requires precision, positioning, strength, courage, and pain tolerance. Athletes who specialize in it spend their entire careers learning how to survive it. Very few 400-meter runners can even finish a competitive 800 at elite pace. Fewer still can race it tactically. Almost none can win it in their debut. Femke Bol did. This was not supposed to happen casually. The 400-meter hurdles already demand a unique blend of speed endurance, rhythm, and technical execution. Adding another lap indoors multiplies the physical demand. The fact that Bol looked composed tells us something important about her physiology. Her aerobic capacity is exceptional, her efficiency under fatigue is rare, and her ability to distribute effort across distance is far beyond what her primary event requires. This is where the discussion changes from curiosity to possibility. Bol is not just fast, she is resilient. In the hurdles, she has shown an ability to finish stronger than her competitors. That strength is usually the first thing to disappear when athletes move up in distance. In Metz, it did not disappear. It became her advantage. The race itself was controlled from the start. Bol stayed relaxed through the opening lap. She did not chase early speed. She did not panic when the pace quickened. She positioned herself where she could respond without wasting energy. When the final phase arrived, she did what great 800 runners do. She committed. That commitment is what separates experiments from real attempts. Many athletes try new distances. Very few attack them. The immediate reaction across the athletics world was predictable. Analysts began discussing numbers. Coaches talked about training translation. Fans began asking the same question repeatedly. Could she run the 800 meters at the Olympics? The question sounds simple. The answer is not. The Olympic 800 meters is not just about time. It is about rounds. It is about surviving heats, semifinals, and finals across several days. It is about positioning in crowded fields. It is about responding to unpredictable tactics. And it is about arriving at the final with enough left to finish when it matters most. Bol already knows pressure. She already knows championships. But this would be a different type of challenge. The temptation is to frame this as a choice between events. That framing misses the point. This is about range. This is about what kind of athlete Femke Bol actually is. Historically, the sport rarely allows this kind of versatility. The training demands of sprint hurdles and middle-distance running usually pull athletes in opposite directions. One prioritizes speed and precision. The other prioritizes efficiency and tolerance of discomfort. Very few bodies can handle both. Bol's body appears to be one of them. What makes this especially compelling is that this was not a peak performance built around months of 800-specific preparation. This was an indoor season experiment. That means there is room to improve. Outdoor tracks, longer straights, different pacing opportunities, more tactical races. If she can already perform at this level indoors, the ceiling outdoors becomes difficult to define. But ambition has consequences. Shifting focus to the 800 meters would require changes. Training volume increases, recovery demands grow, muscle balance shifts. Every adjustment carries risk, especially for an athlete who already dominates her main event. Whether this leads to an Olympic start line in the 800 meters remains to be seen. There are selection standards, there are scheduling conflicts, there are strategic decisions that will not be made lightly, but the door is now open in a way it was not before. And once a door like that opens, it rarely closes quietly. The Metz race will be remembered not just for the time, but for the implication. It suggested that Bol's limits may have been underestimated, that her range is broader than assumed, that her ceiling is still rising.
Femke now just goes gently through the gears. It's looking as though she's pulling away from Anning. The Czechs have come through so strongly for bronze, but gold! The very last gold of these championships.
The sport values specialists. It always has. But it also remembers athletes who bend categories. Athletes who force reconsideration of what is possible. Athletes who make conversations uncomfortable because they refuse to fit neatly into one box. Femke Bol may be entering that territory now. This was one race, one meet, one decision to step into unfamiliar space. But sometimes, that is all it takes to change the direction of a career. What made this moment different was not just success, but ease. There was no visible panic when the pace tightened, no sign that the distance was overwhelming her system. Instead, there was calm, control, awareness. Those qualities cannot be trained quickly. They are either present or they are not. And in Metz, they were unmistakably present. The implications extend beyond a single event. Coaches and competitors will now view her differently. Tactics change when an athlete carries both speed and endurance. Respect shifts when someone proves they can threaten you in multiple ways. Even if Bol never commits fully to the 800 meters, the knowledge that she can handle it alters how the rest of the field approaches her across all distances. The next chapter will not be written indoors. It will unfold over seasons, through choices, through restraint or boldness, through patience or pursuit. Each decision will matter. Each race will add clarity, and every appearance beyond her comfort zone will continue to test the boundaries of expectation. But after Metz, one thing is clear. Femke Bol is not done surprising the sport. The image of her as a single-event athlete has already cracked, and the 800 meters is no longer off limits. It is no longer a question of whether she belongs there. It is a question of how far she is willing to go.